The cheese on your plate could be silently sabotaging your health. Picture this. It's a quiet morning. You're standing by the counter, buttering toast or spreading something creamy over a cracker. It feels familiar, harmless, comforting, even. But what if I told you that one innocent bite could be quietly fueling inflammation, raising your blood pressure, and even accelerating memory loss? It sounds dramatic, I know. But the truth is, not all cheeses are created equal. And after the age of 60, your body becomes far more sensitive to the wrong types. You see, as we age, our metabolism slows down, our kidneys work harder, our arteries become less forgiving, and our gut microbiome begins to change. What you could once digest effortlessly may now trigger hidden damage, especially if you're eating the wrong cheeses. In fact, according to a major study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, seniors who regularly consumed certain high-sodium, ultra-processed cheeses were up to 40% more likely to suffer heart complications. And that's just the beginning. Here's what your doctor likely hasn't told you. Some popular cheeses, yes, the ones found in foil-wrapped triangles, creamy spreads, or those gourmet wedges with moldy veins, are now being referred to by leading nutritionists as a stroke on a plate. But don't worry, this isn't just a warning, it's a guide. Because not all cheeses are bad. In fact, a few of them can actually become your allies. Powerful tools for supporting your bones, brain, immune system, and digestion. In today's video, we'll uncover the 4 cheeses you should add to your diet immediately, and why they work with your aging body, not against it. The 4 dangerous cheeses you must avoid, and how they sneak into your meals disguised as healthy or harmless. And most importantly, how to make simple swaps that could dramatically reduce your risk of chronic disease, without giving up flavor or joy. So if you or someone you love is over 60, don't treat cheese as a guilty pleasure. Treat it as medicine or as poison, depending on the type. Let's take back control of what goes on your plate and protect the health and freedom that matter most. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from today? Drop a quick comment below and feel free to ask any questions you might have. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video from Be Healthy Seniors, your go-to source for trusted health advice. If you're watching right now, let me know you're here. Type 1 in the comments if this message speaks to you, or 0 if you're still deciding. This channel was built with you in mind, to help you live stronger, feel better, and enjoy every chapter of life with more energy and confidence. So join us and let's grow healthier together. Now let's begin with the cheese that offers more than just flavor. It offers strength, balance, and a quiet defense against aging. Let's begin with one of the most quietly powerful cheeses hiding in plain sight: fresh mozzarella. Forget the rubbery shredded versions in plastic bags. We're not talking about ultra-processed grocery aisle mozzarella. We're talking about the real thing: moist, creamy, and made from water buffalo milk or high-quality cow's milk. Fresh mozzarella isn't just a culinary delight. It's one of the most senior-friendly cheeses you can add to your plate after 60. Why? Because it supports your health where you need it most: your joints, your heart, and your inflammatory balance. This cheese is naturally low in sodium and saturated fat, which makes it far easier on your cardiovascular system. According to a 2022 study published in the European Journal of Nutrition, older adults who consumed low-salt fresh cheeses like mozzarella had better vascular flexibility and reduced joint flare-ups, particularly those with early-stage arthritis. Mozzarella is also rich in calcium and phosphorus, essential minerals for maintaining bone strength and preventing fractures. And here's something most people don't realize. Mozzarella contains bioactive peptides formed during fermentation that can actually help lower blood pressure. That's not theory, it's proven biochemistry. But perhaps most importantly, mozzarella is gentle. Its lower lactose content makes it easier to digest for aging digestive systems. It's a nutrient-dense, inflammation-fighting powerhouse in a soft, creamy form that doesn't weigh you down. Add it to a caprese salad, melt it gently over grilled vegetables, or enjoy it with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil for heart-friendly synergy. Mozzarella doesn't shout. It whispers strength, balance, and support. And if you're over 60, those whispers can become a steady foundation for your health. Let's move on now to a cheese that surprises many with its spot on the must-eat list. At first glance, Feta might not seem like a senior-friendly cheese. It's briny, bold, and has that crumbly texture that many associate with indulgence. But beneath its salty flavor lies a powerful ally for anyone over 60. Made traditionally from sheep's milk or a blend of sheep and goat milk, Feta contains a unique protein structure that's far gentler on aging digestive systems than cow's milk-based cheeses. It's also lower in lactose, which means it's less likely to cause bloating, cramping, or discomfort, something seniors often struggle with, but rarely link to their cheese choices. But Feta's benefits go far beyond comfort. It's packed with calcium and protein, both critical for maintaining muscle mass and skeletal integrity as we age, and it delivers a meaningful dose of vitamin B12, which supports brain function and nerve health, two areas that often decline subtly with age and are rarely addressed in early preventive care. Yet what truly sets Feta apart is its probiotic content. Yes, you read that right. Feta, especially when made from raw or minimally processed milk, contains beneficial bacteria that can support gut health, reduce inflammation, and even boost immune function. And that's vital because after 60, your gut microbiome changes. Medications, stress, and natural aging can all weaken your gut's ability to absorb nutrients and fight off illness. Feta acts like a small but mighty reinforcement to your digestive army. It doesn't take much, just a few crumbles tossed into a salad or roasted vegetable dish, and you've enriched your meal with gut-friendly bacteria, calcium, and muscle-supporting nutrients. And if you're concerned about sodium, a simple rinse before eating can reduce the salt content by up to 30% without stripping away flavor. This isn't just about cheese. It's about smart aging, choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. Coming up next is a cheese that often surprises people with how low it is in sodium and how rich it is in brain-supporting nutrients. Now let's talk about Swiss cheese, a variety that rarely makes the headlines, yet deserves a permanent place in your fridge if you're over 60. Swiss cheese may be best known for its iconic holes and nutty flavor, but its real strength lies in how beautifully it supports two vital areas of senior health, your brain and your blood pressure. You see, Swiss is one of the lowest sodium cheeses you can buy, just 54 milligrams per ounce. That's nearly 75% less salt than many popular hard cheeses. For anyone managing hypertension or heart disease, that's a game changer. You get the joy of eating cheese without the cardiovascular cost. But Swiss doesn't stop there. Thanks to its traditional fermentation process, Swiss cheese is nearly lactose-free, making it gentler on aging digestive systems. That same fermentation also creates a unique bacterial culture, Propionibacterium freudenreichi, which produces natural compounds that boost immune function and reduce systemic inflammation. That's particularly important because chronic inflammation is one of the leading contributors to muscle wasting, cognitive decline, and frailty as we age. But what really makes Swiss cheese a quiet champion is its contribution to brain health. Swiss is high in vitamin B12, a nutrient critical for maintaining healthy nerve function and preventing memory decline. Just 1 ounce delivers around 16% of your daily B12 needs, something that becomes increasingly important after age 60, as our ability to absorb B12 diminishes with time. Low B12 has been linked not only to fatigue and confusion, but also to more serious cognitive impairments that mimic early dementia. And there's more. Swiss cheese is also a natural source of vitamin K2, a compound that helps direct calcium away from your arteries and into your bones, where it belongs. That means better bone density, fewer fractures, and a reduced risk of arterial calcification. If you're trying to strengthen your skeleton and soften the load on your heart, Swiss cheese quietly goes to work behind the scenes, day after day. What about protein? 1 ounce packs nearly 8 grams of it, rich in the amino acids your muscles need to stay strong and stable. When combined with physical activity, this can significantly slow down age-related muscle loss and even help rebuild strength over time. It's not flashy, it's not exotic. But Swiss cheese is one of the smartest choices for seniors looking to maintain independence, sharp thinking, and cardiovascular balance. Slice it onto whole-grain toast, melt it in a veggie omelet, or enjoy it with apple slices for a satisfying snack that supports your strength, memory, and heart, all at once. Now let's move to a cheese that's even creamier, easier to digest, and surprisingly powerful for your metabolism and immune system. If you haven't already guessed, I'm talking about goat cheese. Let's dive into one of the most underrated yet deeply nourishing cheeses for people over 60. Goat cheese. This soft, creamy favorite is more than a gourmet indulgence. It's a metabolic ally, a digestive friend, and a quiet protector of your strength and stamina as you age. What makes goat cheese so special? First, it's easier to digest than most cow's milk cheeses. Goat milk contains shorter-chain fatty acids and less lactose, which means your body can break it down with less effort, especially helpful if you've noticed that heavier cheeses leave you feeling bloated or sluggish. For many older adults, goat cheese feels lighter in the belly but delivers more benefits per bite. But here's where it gets exciting. The fats in goat cheese work differently in your body. Unlike the long-chain fats found in cow's milk, goat milk fats are absorbed quickly and used as energy instead of being stored. This gives your metabolism a gentle boost and may help support healthy weight maintenance, especially important as age-related muscle loss begins to shift body composition and slow your metabolic rate. Goat cheese also shines when it comes to inflammation control. It's naturally rich in conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, which studies have shown can help reduce fat accumulation, support lean muscle retention, and suppress chronic inflammation. The very inflammation that contributes to arthritis, fatigue, and a slow decline in mobility. But the benefits don't stop there. Goat cheese is packed with selenium and zinc, two trace minerals that play powerful roles in supporting your immune system, regulating thyroid function, and protecting against oxidative stress. Zinc, in particular, is vital for wound healing and cellular repair, while selenium acts as a shield for your cells against age-related damage. And if you're thinking about brain health, goat cheese has you covered. It provides omega-3 fatty acids and a unique, more bioavailable form of vitamin A that supports vision and cognitive performance. These compounds nourish the brain's neural networks and may help defend against memory decline, mood disorders, and the early stages of dementia. Plus, this cheese is often fermented, meaning it can deliver a healthy dose of probiotics, those beneficial bacteria that support gut health, immune response, and even emotional balance. Considering that the microbiome tends to become less diverse with age, this makes goat cheese an easy and delicious way to help restore that lost harmony. Need one more reason to love it? Goat cheese is typically free from artificial additives and preservatives. It's made with just a few clean ingredients: milk, enzymes, salt, and cultures. That means you're getting real food, not a chemical cocktail. Try crumbling it over roasted beets, blending it into a vegetable omelet, or spreading it on a slice of whole grain toast with fresh herbs. It pairs beautifully with fiber-rich veggies and healthy fats, creating a meal that fuels your strength and satisfies your senses. If you're over 60 and looking for a cheese that supports your metabolism, nourishes your muscles, and respects your digestion, goat cheese should be more than a treat. It should be part of your weekly routine. Next, let's move into more dangerous territory as we explore the cheeses that may look innocent but silently sabotage your health. It's time to uncover what to avoid, starting with a nostalgic favorite that's anything but harmless: American cheese. Now that we've explored the nourishing side of cheese, let's flip the coin, and it's not a pretty picture. Let's talk about American cheese. Yes, the one that might bring back memories of childhood lunches or weekend grilled cheese sandwiches. It's smooth, it melts perfectly, and it's everywhere. But for seniors, this ultra-processed cheese product is more than just nutritionally empty. It can quietly wreak havoc on your heart, kidneys, and arteries. Here's the truth most people never hear. American cheese isn't really cheese. Legally, it's classified as a processed cheese product because it's made from a blend of leftover cheeses, emulsifiers, preservatives, artificial colors, sodium phosphate, and a shocking amount of added salt. And that salt? It adds up fast. A single slice can pack in over 15% of your daily sodium limit, and that's just one slice. For someone over 60, especially with high blood pressure, kidney sensitivity, or any cardiovascular condition, that's playing with fire. The dangers go deeper. Many of the emulsifying agents used to give American cheese its soft, uniform texture have been linked to gut microbiome disruption. That means your healthy gut bacteria, the ones that regulate inflammation, support immunity, and even help protect your brain, are under attack every time you unwrap a slice. And it doesn't stop there. One of the most dangerous additives found in processed cheeses like this is inorganic phosphate, a preservative that gives it a longer shelf life, but accelerates arterial calcification. That's a fancy way of saying it makes your blood vessels hard and brittle. For seniors, this can increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney damage, particularly for those already managing reduced kidney function. A 2020 review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets high in processed phosphate additives are linked to higher mortality rates among older adults with kidney disease. And yet this cheese sits in our supermarkets and lunch trays like it's harmless. Let's not forget the lack of nutrition. American cheese contains barely any calcium compared to natural cheeses, and it's stripped of beneficial enzymes and probiotics. What you're left with is an artificial, high-sodium, high-fat filler that clogs arteries, inflames the gut, and offers virtually no benefit in return. Still craving that grilled cheese? Try using a slice of fresh mozzarella or goat cheese on sprouted grain bread instead. You'll still get that warm, satisfying texture, but without inviting long-term damage to your heart, kidneys, or digestion. As we age, every food choice becomes a vote, for strength or for decline. American cheese may seem convenient, nostalgic, and cheap, but the cost it takes from your long-term health is anything but minor. Let's move forward. Up next, we'll explore blue cheese, a gourmet favorite with a surprisingly risky profile, especially for seniors sensitive to blood pressure changes or neurological effects. You may want to think twice before that next fancy wedge. If you're over 60 and love the bold, tangy flavor of blue cheese, it's time to take a closer look. Not at the taste, but at the hidden dangers behind those blue veins. Blue cheese is often seen as a gourmet treat, a sign of sophisticated taste. But for seniors, especially those with sensitive blood vessels, declining kidney function, or neurological concerns, it may be one of the riskiest cheeses on your plate. Why? The culprit lies in what gives blue cheese its signature flavor and marbled appearance: penicillium mold. This isn't the friendly type of mold. It produces compounds like tyramine and histamine, which in younger, healthier bodies are broken down fairly easily. But in older adults, the enzymatic activity required to process these compounds declines. That's when trouble begins. Tyramine in particular has been linked to spikes in blood pressure, migraines, and even heart arrhythmias in sensitive individuals. It acts like a stimulant to your vascular system, narrowing blood vessels and increasing the load on your heart. And if you're already managing high blood pressure or are on medications like MAO inhibitors or beta blockers, the interaction can be even more dangerous. It doesn't stop with the heart. The combination of neuroactive amines in blue cheese can cross the blood-brain barrier, triggering headaches, mood disturbances, and sleep issues in people over 60. That lightheaded feeling? That sudden rush of warmth or ringing in your ears after a cheese platter? That's not just coincidence. It could be your nervous system reacting to an overload of inflammatory compounds. There's also the infection risk. Because blue cheese is often aged and sometimes made from unpasteurized milk, it can harbor Listeria monocytogenes, a bacterium that's usually harmless to the young, but potentially life-threatening for seniors. A compromised immune system, which is more common past age 60, can turn a simple indulgence into a serious hospitalization. And then there's the sodium. Blue cheese contains over 400 milligrams of salt per ounce, one of the highest among all cheeses. That's enough to raise your blood pressure significantly with regular consumption, especially if you're combining it with salty crackers, cured meats, or wine, which is often the case. Yes, it's flavorful. Yes, it's sophisticated. But for seniors, blue cheese is like walking through a minefield in your own bloodstream. One wrong step, a little too much sodium, a sudden tyramine reaction, and it could trigger a spike in blood pressure, a cardiac episode, or a neurological flare you didn't see coming. If you absolutely love blue cheese and don't want to give it up entirely, treat it as you would a rare dessert. infrequent, small portions, and paired with caution. Avoid it completely if you have a history of hypertension, migraines, or heart rhythm issues. Let's move to the next cheese that might seem innocent, but hides even more serious risks. Coming up next, cream cheese, the soft, spreadable favorite that may be spreading more harm than you think. At first glance, cream cheese feels innocent enough. It's soft, mild, easy to spread, and for many older adults, a nostalgic comfort food that brings to mind toasted bagels and family breakfasts. But beneath that silky texture lies a nutritional trap that every senior should approach with caution. Cream cheese is what nutritionists call a nutrient-poor, calorie-dense food. It offers very little in the way of protein, fiber, or micronutrients, but delivers a concentrated dose of saturated fat and calories in every creamy spoonful. Just 2 tablespoons contain about 10 grams of fat, most of it saturated, and only a whisper of protein, about 2 grams. This matters more than most people realize. After 60, our bodies don't burn calories as efficiently. We also lose lean muscle mass and struggle to maintain a healthy metabolism. A diet rich in high-fat, low-nutrient foods like cream cheese quietly undermines the foundation of senior health, metabolism, muscle, and mobility. But it gets more concerning. Cream cheese is a soft cheese, and that makes it more susceptible to bacterial contamination, particularly with Listeria monocytogenes. For young, healthy people, this might not be a big concern. But for adults over 60, especially those with weakened immunity or chronic conditions, Listeria can be deadly, leading to septicemia, meningitis, and long hospital stays. What's worse, Listeria thrives in the cool environment of your fridge and doesn't always give off a smell or spoilage signs. Then there's the issue of hidden sugar. Many flavored varieties of cream cheese, like honey walnut, strawberry swirl, or brown sugar cinnamon, contain added sugars that spike insulin, fuel fat storage, and feed inflammation. These are subtle metabolic bombs wrapped in breakfast comfort. And if you're pairing cream cheese with white bread, bagels, or crackers, you're compounding the glycemic load with processed carbs. Seniors with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome are especially vulnerable. High sugar, high fat combinations worsen insulin resistance and contribute to silent weight gain that collects around the belly, right where it's most dangerous for your heart, liver, and pancreas. And here's something even more subtle. Cream cheese tricks your satiety signals. Because it's rich and fatty but low in protein and fiber, it doesn't help you feel full. Instead, it encourages you to eat more and more often, without providing real nourishment. That's a silent recipe for creeping weight gain and chronic fatigue. Is there a safe way to enjoy cream cheese? If you're absolutely set on keeping it in your routine, stick to plain, organic varieties, limit yourself to 1 tablespoon, and combine it with high-fiber, low-glycemic foods like whole-grain toast or cucumber slices. But ideally, for the sake of your heart, metabolism, and immune system, consider swapping it out altogether. Try whipped avocado with lemon juice, hummus, or Greek yogurt with herbs. These alternatives offer healthy fats, protein, probiotics, and anti-inflammatory compounds, without the risks of bacterial contamination, hidden sugars, or artery-clogging fats. Let's now move to the most dangerous cheese of all, the one that combines the worst of everything we've just discussed. Up next, processed cheese spreads, the true stroke on a plate. Of all the cheeses we've discussed, none poses a greater threat to seniors' health than those seemingly innocent cheese spreads, those soft, creamy wedges wrapped in foil or sold in plastic tubs at your local grocery store. They're marketed as convenient, kid-friendly, and even nutritious. But for anyone over 60, they're anything but. In fact, they may be the closest thing to a stroke in a container you'll find in your fridge. Let's peel back the label. Unlike natural cheeses made from simple ingredients like milk, cultures, and salt, processed cheese spreads are a chemical cocktail. They're created using a slurry of leftover cheese scraps, emulsifying salts, preservatives, food colorings, flavor enhancers, and in some cases partially hydrogenated oils, the infamous trans fats. Many of these ingredients have been banned or restricted in other countries for their toxic effects on heart and brain health. Yet in many low-cost cheese spreads sold in the US, they're still found. Just a few tablespoons of these spreads can contain over 400 milligrams of sodium, 8 to 10 grams of saturated fat, and a host of additives linked to kidney damage, inflammation, and cognitive decline. For a senior with high blood pressure or early signs of cognitive impairment, this is a dangerous equation. Let's talk about phosphate additives, a hidden risk almost no one warns you about. In natural cheese, phosphorus is bound to protein and released gradually during digestion. But in processed spreads, inorganic phosphates are added to preserve smoothness and shelf life. These phosphates are absorbed directly into the bloodstream, where they can accelerate vascular calcification, weaken kidney function, and contribute to bone loss. According to the National Kidney Foundation, high phosphate intake from processed foods is a direct threat to kidney health, especially in older adults. And if you're someone with hypertension, type 2 diabetes, or early kidney disease, this is not just a concern. It's a flashing red warning sign. Then there's the brain connection. The synthetic emulsifiers, artificial colors, and high sodium levels used in cheese spreads have been linked to increased inflammation in the brain, disruption of neurotransmitters, and even the acceleration of neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. The more we learn about the gut-brain connection, the clearer it becomes that highly processed foods, like these spreads, don't just harm your digestion, they affect your mood, focus, and memory too. Worse still, because these spreads are so soft and palatable, portion control becomes nearly impossible. People don't eat one bite, they eat several tablespoons, often spread on ultra-processed crackers or white bread, compounding the inflammation and glycemic load. And unlike harder cheeses, which may provide satiety due to their dense protein and fat content, these spreads are often eaten mindlessly, creating a cycle of craving and overconsumption. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this: remove processed cheese spreads from your kitchen today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. There are safer, tastier, and far more nourishing alternatives. If you love a spreadable texture, consider whipped ricotta with olive oil and herbs, plain Greek yogurt with garlic, lemon, and dill, hummus blended with roasted red peppers, or even avocado with lemon zest and sea salt. These choices give you healthy fats, probiotics, anti-inflammatory compounds, and they support heart, brain, and kidney health, all without the toxic baggage of processed cheese spreads. You deserve better. Your body deserves better. Now that we've covered all 8 cheeses, 4 to enjoy and 4 to avoid, let's move to a powerful conclusion that ties everything together. How the right cheese on your plate could mean the difference between independence and decline as you age. Stay with me. Let's take a moment and reflect on the journey we've taken today. Cheese, for most of us, is more than just a food. It's tied to comfort, family recipes, morning routines, and evening snacks. But for those of us over 60, it's also something far more powerful. It can be either a subtle ally in protecting our bones, brain, heart, and muscles, or a quiet saboteur that inflames our joints, raises our blood pressure, or clouds our thinking. That's the hidden truth we've uncovered. When you choose cheeses like fresh mozzarella, feta, Swiss, or goat cheese, you're not just indulging your taste buds, you're feeding your circulatory system with nitric oxide-boosting peptides, nourishing your gut with probiotics, and supporting your cognitive resilience with vitamin B12 and anti-inflammatory fats. These are small decisions that compound into large victories. But when you lean on the wrong options, processed cheese spreads, blue cheese, cream cheese, and American cheese, you're introducing ingredients that may accelerate arterial calcification, kidney strain, gut dysbiosis, and even neurochemical imbalances. And most seniors don't even realize it's happening until the dizziness, memory fog, or silent high blood pressure catches up with them. Let me be clear, this isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. It's about making just one smarter choice today, and then repeating that tomorrow. You don't need to give up cheese. You need to elevate it. You need to ask, is this cheese helping me age with strength and clarity, or is it quietly pulling me toward fatigue, stiffness, and dependency? Because the answer to that question could define not just your next meal, but your next decade. So here's your invitation. Swap one processed cheese for a fresh one this week. Share this knowledge with someone you love, your spouse, your neighbor, your adult children, and most of all, listen to your body. How you feel after you eat is the truest feedback your health will ever give you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. You are not powerless in aging. you are not destined for decline. With each bite, each walk, each mindful choice, you are writing a new future. Stay strong, stay informed, and never stop choosing health, one delicious, nutrient-rich cheese at a time. I'll see you in the next video. To your strength, your clarity, and your independence.